Welcome back to Sub-Zero Hero, the FM21 adventure where we're taking a team from the bottom of Norwegian football supposedly to the top using nothing but our youth intakes. But after a very bright start to our first season in the Premier Division, well, as winter draws in Tromsø, so does the threat of relegation. In our last episode, we lost to a team bottom of the table who'd not won a game in the last 23 attempts. In today's episode, we are going to be showing you our fate. Okay, nobody worried. You won't believe what's happened. In a rare stroke of tactical awareness, I managed to turn things around. I mean, I was never really worried, if I'm honest, but I sensed you were a bit worried in the last episode. Honestly, I always knew that I had it under control. Well, this is what we ended up doing. I switched back to a formation similar to how we started the season. 5 across the midfield, except this time I'd advanced the wide players on a little bit. Just having 3 central midfielders in front of the back 4 really seems to have steadied the ship, and we've also started scoring goals again and creating much better chances than we were in our previous game. So straight off that defeat to start, we went into a game against Tromsdalen, but we were 2-0 up before half-time, and Hugo was the man of the hour for us, taking a ball down on his chest. He strode forward and slotted one past the keeper. And then when sent through by Jonas Hartvigsson, he showed a delightful little bit of technique by just dinking the ball over their keeper. We carried it on in the second half. We switched Hartvigsson out to the right wing, and he managed to wriggle down the sidelines there, sling over a ball to the edge of the 6-yard box. Hugo Ridings in on the act, and the last goal, well, that was all Hartvigsson. He beats a man, bursts into the area, and then plays one across the keeper, and we've got ourselves a 4-0 victory, which meant we went into our next game against Sarpsborg needing just a point to be mathematically assured of our place in the Premier Division. And again, we made a decent start, and it was all Hartvigsson again this time. He bursts into the box, coming in off the left wing this time, and places a very nice header past their keeper. We've still got some defensive frailties, I will warn you. The player that scores this goal has 2 men marking him, and Pedersen still manages to get beaten at his near post. And I thought a point was all we were going to do until we work a short corner routine, pass it into the box, and Lars Ole Ido Hansen managed to stab the ball home at the far post. It meant that we'd picked up back-to-back wins, and then against Sandefjord, we ran up another 4-goal total. We won't show you them all because winter has drawn in out here in the Arctic Circle, and it was very difficult to see if we'd scored or not in this game. But Auden Schörnersen has even got in on the act, bursting through after a Pedersen kick to put us into the perfect start. So we've now got 9 points from the last 3 games, having not won previously in the last 11. And it means that the table is looking a lot more healthy. We're up in 8th place. We can finish as high as 7th with a win today, although we could drop down as low as 10th. It's going to be difficult, I think, to keep the morale up for today's game. It's a vital one. We're playing Lillestrøm. A win for them means that they could go into a relegation playoff rather than being automatically relegated. So they are going to be up for this game, and our players, well, they're already planning their winter holidays. Before we get to that game, I should probably update you on our under-19s as well. So our under-19s have had a very good season. In fact, going into the last couple of games, they had a chance of winning the under-19 championships, but a defeat to Ranheim meant that their title chances were over, and they ended up finishing 3rd. However, they do have one more trophy left for them to play for. They've made it all the way to the Under-19 Cup final, where they'll be playing Sarpsborg's Under-19s. The game is taking place the day before our first team have their final game of the season against Lillestrøm. I think maybe we should check in with the Under-19s and see whether they manage to get themselves a cup final victory. Okay, we're on the 70-minute mark. Sarpsborg have just equalised after an early Kevin misunderstood goal, so we're going into the final 20 minutes. And this cup final is in the balance. We are going to demand a little bit more of our entire team, and we're going to see whether they can get the job done in this final 20 minutes. They've been on top for most of the game. Whether this goes to extra time or penalties, I'm not quite sure at this level, but it looks like we might be about to find it out, because we're getting to the 90-minute mark and we've not had a winner, although this looks like a proper highlight because there's still 3 minutes of injury time to play. And we got the ball with little Michael Flutterer over on the left. He's lost it though. Maybe this is not going to be our highlight. Can he win it back? He has. And he's got players up with him. Although he's lost the ball for a second time. This is scrappy. He's coming at him again now, Flutterer. Now we've gone over the top. Malik's in. Oh, and he's had a great chance. He's been in pretty good goal-scoring form. I don't think he's ever going to make it into the first team, if I'm honest. He just doesn't have the attributes for it. But at under 19 level, well, he's been pretty dangerous. And he likes a slide tackle as well, it would seem. Dangerous as a goal scorer and dangerous with his reckless striker-like challenges as well. And I think this one is either going to be going to extra time or to penalties. And he's offside, and I think that will be all she wrote for the 90 minutes. We've got a goal kick. The Juice is in goal, our little Dutch 16-year-old keeper. Lots of these players you won't recognise. They've not made appearances for the first team. It looks like it could well be extra time. We're going to go and make a few changes. We'll come back and see whether these boys can get the job done. Okay, second period of extra time to play. There were a couple of chances in that first period, neither of them for us, I'm afraid. And we're going to have to ask a little bit more of the boys again. Let's try and fire them up. Kevin misunderstood, tries to get a cross in, he can't. And this looks like another chance for Sarpsborg. We've looked very tired in this extra time period, and I think Clubber Lang has got himself sent off. So we're going to have to finish this game down to 10 men. It's going to make it pretty tricky for us. We'll see what we can do. We'll change to a 5-3-1 formation. And I think now we're hoping for penalties, aren't we? Maybe that's the best that we can do. Will we even get that far? Let's have a little look. We've got a highlight. The Juice has got a goal kick. We've got two fullbacks playing as centre halves now. Not ideal. And they have got the ball, and I think with just, a couple of minutes left, we could be looking at extra time heartbreak here. Although we've gone over the top. Malik's in again. He's pretty good one-on-one. What's he got? I think Ahmed Malik might have just secured our boys the cup. 10 men. Long ball over the top. Very un-Tromsdalen. It's little Tony Berg playing in the midfield that sent it over, and Malik... That's a nice little finish. He's quick, Malik. He's got pace of 14, but he's got very little else about his game, which is why I don't think we're ever going to see him in the first team. However, another nice little trophy for our under-19. So 3 seasons ago, they won the under-19 championship, and this is the first time they've won the under-19s title. And I think we're passing the trophy to the skipper there, and that's another nice little bit of silverware in the Tromsdalen cabinet. Always nice to see the confetti falling. We might not be seeing it again for our first team in this series, but at least we can see it at under 19 level as well. There's a nice view of the stadium roof there. Look at that, they've asphalted that within an inch of its life. Oh good, we get to see the players again. Are we going to get to see the Juice do his cartwheel? We're not. Okay, so our boys have managed to get the job done in their cup final. Now it's time to see our first team in action in the last game of the season. Okay, we're underway for the final game of the season in our debut season in the Premier League. And as suspected, Lillestrøm have got a lot to play for and we don't. And we've started off with a sloppy goal conceded, our third of the season, from a corner. 3 players at the far post, none of them able to win the ball. And they tap home for an early lead. We've got one little change coming into this game. Hartfigsen was injured, so we've shifted Schönerson over to the left wing. And Gerser comes in on the right. And it's not really helped us early on, has it? Ole Christian Jensen's won the ball. It means Hugo's ploughing a lone furrow up front now. but he's got support from his midfielders. This time, it's in the form of Kim Heron. Not the quickest. He walks his way through and then curls a terrible effort wide of the goal. And pretty early on, I think we're going to be asking our team for a little bit more than they're currently giving. Free kick to the opposition, though. This could be a chance for them, and now we're 2-0 down, and our boys really haven't turned up, have they? And really, that demand more shout should have been a berate early on. Since the latest patch, by the way, direct free kicks seem to be a real weapon, and we do not have a set piece taker. We are going to berate the team. I think we're only 24 minutes into the game. Worth just telling them that this is a poor performance. But Lillestrøm are up for this game, aren't they? And we're thinking that all the hard work has been done. But if it gets worse than 2-0, this is going to be a little bit of a morale-sapping end to the season, I feel. And I tell you what, 3-0 looks on the cards, doesn't it? They've made all of the chances in this first half. And we have been pretty poor. It means that we have dropped down to 10th in the table. And I feel like the worst of the damage might not yet be through. They've got another free kick. And they've drifted one just wide. I don't know whether free kicks are a bit overpowered since the latest update, or whether we've just got a goalkeeper that's not accustomed to saving them. He saves a lot of penalty kicks. But you make him face a free kick from the edge of the box, he's got absolutely nothing to offer. Right, this is a very, very poor performance, and we're going to tell them exactly that, and then we're going to see you for a second half where we try and restore a little bit of pride. Okay, we are back underway, and we were looking for a second half that is significantly better than that very tepid first half performance, but it's not got off to the ideal start, has it, as Kristoffersen has got injured over at left back. We're going to throw him on. We're going to throw Lualago, Gorgeous George on in replacement for him, and I think we'll make another little change. We're going to bring on Richardson in place of Heron. Richardson's not got as many first-team games as maybe I would have given him if he hadn't got sent off live on camera when I brought him in earlier in the season. Gerser looks like he's got a bit of a knock as well. So we might need to make a little change there as Hugo fires home, but it's disallowed. Hugo straight offside, did he? No, I think is the answer to that. I think that one has been wrongly disallowed. Okay, one final change then. We'll bring little Chrissy Nuts on over on the left. We'll bring Schönerson out to the right. And we've got 25 minutes left, and this is looking like a bit of a damp squib, and it's not even going to help Lillestrøm looking at the table. It looks like they're still going to get automatically relegated, which is going to be another big team from Norwegian football dropping out of the Premier Division as we stride forward. Nuts, well, he gave it a go, then decided, no, I've expended enough energy now. I'm just going to let my opponent have the ball, and they've slung one over the top. And they've made Pedersen work at his near post. Worrying signs ahead of next season, I think. We have got defensive frailties, definitely. And whether we're going to have the same midfield next season when we're potentially losing Dusan Dibson, I'm not sure. God, we really are weak. I think we could do with 2 new fullbacks in the next youth intake, to be honest. I'm not sure about Gorgeous George, and I'm not sure we've really found the answer to our right back problems either. And as this game ticks its way through to full time, we've had 3 efforts in the entire game. Alright, not the best way to end the season. We've got poor performances all over the pitch, and we're going to make sure that the boys know that that was absolute garbage. Okay, time to send the boys away on a winter break and see if we've got a nice little youth intake report just to send us into the holidays. We certainly do have a youth intake, and they're banding around that golden generation term once more. What have we got this time? A top prospect in the centre of midfield. Very much needed. One of our wingers looks like a handy prospect again. Some more attacking potency out wide would be good. A forward who could be considered a fine prospect. I'm not sure whether a forward means definitely a striker or whether it could be An attacking wide player, we'll have to wait and see. A good young Norwegian left winger from Tromsdalen who has caught the eye. A terrific group of players. The potential to be a real golden generation. Now look, you've been doing this as long as I have. I've been stung by that phrase before. But this is going to be the first youth intake we've had coming through since we've improved our junior coaching and our youth training facilities. So I am crossing all of my fingers that by the next time we see you, we might have a real golden generation to report of Sub-Zero heroes.